before the live, you sent me 2 lists of cards
Yeah, indeed.
of your version. This is the first one, which, correct me if I'm going wrong, is the last version of the deck you played to a tournament, and is like it has some interesting cards like Has Set My Heart, but this version is setted and tacked about the old meta.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Indeed. So it was interesting to see also at the tournament in the US. There was this world class cards 5K tournament that Zero the Hero, so content creator, also local content creator, managed to top 4 with the discard pile and was playing Has Set My Heart and the Queen to beat those red blues, and managed actually to I think beat 3 red blues in rounds. So it was really impressive, and we actually made a video on my YouTube channel with him talking about those changes. Has Set My Heart mainly is a way to delay the ERAM. You can either destroy the popsicle. So they often go popsicle turn 1, turn 2 they will try to accelerate their inkwell with Tipo or Azure, and then IRAM on turn 4. You can delay the IRAM by destroying the item that way. So you can destroy the item, delay IRAM, then they will not do anything on turn 4, maybe play another item. Then you can shift Diablo, force them to brawl, so you delay the IRAM again. You can delay the IRAM as much as possible until the point maybe you can quickly empty their hand if you have hypnotized the boss of the chill. So that was the idea. Also, you can take down the coil, which won me a game actually, because often they will go coil turn 2 into Sisu turn 3 to deal with Diablo. If you destroy the coil, then they can't Sisu anymore. They are often forced to brawl, which leave them with non-inkables in hand. Sometimes, as you play as many non-inkables in red blue, you wanna sometimes ink the brawl, prefer play the Sisu to make sure that you ink every turn. Forcing them to play the brawl kinda makes them short on ink, and sometimes can force them to ink Grammatala, which is very good in matchup, something like that. Also the goats, I was playing 2 goats because it's super hard for them to deal with goats. Sisu doesn't take it. There's not many cards that deal with goats. You have the fox, you can also bounce it back. So the plan was to try to lure a little bit more and close the game, since we cannot play the value matchup. I cut a genie because it wasn't great in the matchup. It doesn't do much. It just draws back a card, but it's often dead before being able to sing or to quest once. So I traded the genie for Goat and Has Set My Heart. Lucifer was also there to make sure I'm heavier on discard, because sometimes they can go empty-handed, find Tamatoa or Iram, draw 2 cards and pass the turn. Then Lucifer is gonna take care of both of them. And we had to cut some cards. We cut the Diablo turn 2 because it's weak to Sisu, and so on. And we prefer to cut Fox than Crab, because Crab works too well with the 1 and 2 drops against aggro decks. So that was the version we were. I was on actually. Problem is that those matchups, red, blue, and blue steel, was so dominant that we were forced into playing bad cards of the deck. Has Set My Heart is not something you want to see against any other matchups.
Yeah.
But it shows that how dominant those decks were and how much of a problem it was in the meta when you're forced to go to that extreme.
Yeah. And now we can go on to the second list you sent me, which is like kind of core structure of the deck. This is very, very gold, guys. So you guys that are watching this live are very, very lucky, because we are talking about some top tier player and top tier list that is sharing his knowledge with us. So this is 47 cards at the moment in this
57.
57, yeah, 57. I don't know if you want to go through, just explain
Yeah, of course.
what is going on.
It's 57 because I think that's the core of the deck, that it's really hard to change now. There are 3 flex slots that I didn't decide yet. I mean, not 100%. I have some interesting options, but I will actually update the guide with a post-ban IRAM version, including every option you can fill those slots with. So you can go either back to improvise or I don't know, maybe other cars. You can go also for Yago or anything that helps you in the meta game. It really also will depend on what do you face in your locals. If you have faced a lot of purple decks with Genie, Yago is a good way to deal with it. If you face a lot of purple steel, then improvise is also very good, and so on and so on. But for the core 57 cards, we're playing 12, actually 16 Diablos if we count the Diablo 3.
Yeah.
So it's 1/4 of the deck that is a Diablo. Everything it's almost 4 off. We're playing only 2 Genies, 2 Prince John, because it's a non-inkable. It's often a card you don't want to see twice in a game. Even if when you have 2 of them, you rarely have the opportunity to play both of them. So it's fine having 2 of them, even though we are a discard deck and we like having 1 Prince John. Having 2 of them hurts too much as being non-inkable. Creaky, 3 of them, because it's actually
Strong.
super solid. Yeah,
Too
it's
strong.
too strong, too strong against those aggro decks. And the action and discard package is 16 cards that you cannot, you almost cannot touch, because you need to have enough actions to shift Diablo. I would say that sweet spot I want the deck to be in is 10 non-inkables and 18 actions.
Okay.
So we are on 10 non-inkables for the moment with this list. So I wouldn't recommend putting other non-inkables in the flex slot. And I recommend trying to find out some actions to fill the gap, because you actually need to be on 18 actions. On 16 actions, you have some trouble with Mulligan.
Okay. Let's give us some insights about because we know that you are a maths teacher, so we know that you probably put a lot of maths inside your decks and some of your calculates. So tell us more about it, because we are very, very curious.
I'm actually for a long time, even when I was in high school, I was a fan of Frank Carsten articles, going in depth in the numbers, in the mulligans, in the probabilities, trying to justify by not only feelings and intuition, but actual math, what was the best numbers. So that's what we did with this deck. We tried for the mulligans to figure out what will give you the highest chance of shifting Diablos, and so on. We run Python code. We also use some tools that you can find online, such as I will drop you the links
Yeah,
in the
sure,
chat
sure.
actually.
Thank you.
So
And we
if
will
there's
share
one-
with the chat.
Come diciamo sempre ai nostri amici, la
La
matematica.
matematica.
La matematica.
So maybe you want to translate some of what I said meanwhile I'm
Sì,
checking for
allora
the
vabbè,
text.
sostanzialmente diceva che vabbè, questa qua che stiamo vedendo sostanzialmente è il core del mazzo, 57 carte. Sostiene che 10 non ink siano il numero giusto, che tendenzialmente sarebbe il caso di arrivare a 18 canzoni e azioni. In questo momento ce ne sono 16 all'interno del mazzo, perché è il bilanciamento corretto per poter cercare di avere la shift line di Diablo quasi sempre al Mulligan. Io ovviamente gli ho chiesto, dal momento che Dinu è anche un insegnante di matematica, di portarci un pochettino più a fondo dietro queste piccolezze, che poi piccolezze non sono, soprattutto perché poi a mio avviso almeno fanno la differenza tra i giocatori mediocri e tra i giocatori buoni, i giocatori mediocri, i giocatori veramente forti. Sapere esattamente perché stai andando a mettere una carta, quante ne stai mettendo, perché, e soprattutto diceva una cosa molto vera e molto interessante, che a volte appunto alcune cose come la matematica sono più importanti anche delle sensazioni, dei feeling che tu hai sul mazzo. Quindi sebbene tu possa sentirti più confident in un modo piuttosto che in un altro, la matematica spesse volte ti dà ragione
o torto.
Adesso ci sta cercando un tool che lui utilizza, perché col team utilizzano anche degli script Python, quindi capite bene che siamo a dei livelli proprio superiori di deck building rispetto ai nostri, e questo è molto molto interessante.
Sì.
E soprattutto ci diceva in particolar modo che è un mazzo molto quadrato, pieno di 4 per, soltanto i precision sono a 2, perché è una carta che non vuoi vedere 2 volte all'interno della stessa partita, e che spesso magari se hai l'opportunità è una di quelle carte che scarti, appunto perché un po' ti si chianca in mano, per utilizzare un termine propriamente tecnico, in quanto appunto è una non inkabile. E tra le varie carte che ci diceva appunto potrebbero essere lo spot da inserire, tra le carte, diciamo tra le 3 carte che mancano, ne citava 2. Una era appunto Improvise, magari se il meta è un pochettino più orientato allo stile Amethyst style, perché Improvise, ricordatevi che toglie il Cobra, che non è che non è banale. E poi anche eventualmente il nuovo Iago, sia per tradare direttamente i geni, sia ovviamente per avere a che fare con gli altri Diablo.
Però ricordatevi, anche lui muore da Improvise.
Esatto, anche lui muore da Improvise, perché ovviamente ha Vanish. Intanto salutiamo Lorcana Queen, che è arrivata in chat. Lo mettiamo bello grande. Questa parte andrà poi nel VOD.
Sì, in chat avete di nuovo il link al METAFY di Dinu, e a schermo vedete sempre il codice di sconto, che lo vedete sopra la schermata di Arnaldo.
Una cosa, se non volete scriverlo, in descrizione trovate sia il link che il codice sconto da copiare ed incollare.
Esatto.
Perché so che siete pigri, quindi non avete veramente scuse.
I've dropped you guys in the guest chat the links to the two online tools for reckoning statistics.
So let's open another tab. Okay.
Okay, so this actually, okay, so this actually, everything it's written down below, how to design your deck. So actually what you do, you just break down your deck. So for example, you can write Diablo 1 and put 8 copies of it, because you have 8 one from Diablo.
Yep.
And then in hand you want at least 1, so the numbers go to 1. And then you can put Diablo 3, so the shifted Diablo. You have 4 in decks, you want 1.
Yep.
Then you can add a card, so just and then you can put maybe actions. Yeah, you can put 18 of them,
Yep.
and then you can add a card
Yep.
and put others. So what's left in the deck? So 60 minus 18 minus 8 minus 4. So it's 30 left in the deck.
Yep.
And you want 0 of that. And then you can calculate. So if you put 7, you can see what's your chances of having at least
The fuck?
yeah, it's 21% of chance of having the shift line in your opening hand. And then you can just go higher. I mean, because you will mulligan. Often in this deck you mulligan 5 cards. So let's say you will see 13 or 14 cards. Yeah, you have like over 50% chance of having your entire shift line in your top 13 cards.
And we are not considering on the draw the first and the second.
Also, we're not considering on the draw on the play. The statistics are actually higher because you can draw the you want to shift on 2, so you can draw the action or the Diablo 3 by turn 2. So on your first 2 draws,
So you have
if you're on the
15
draw,
possible cards. You have actually, if you full mulligan, you have like 16 cards that you
you can also full mulligan. I'm not considering maybe full mulligan because if you have like 2 Diablos, you only mulligan 5. So if your action is the 4th card, you won't see it. So with just like averaging, those are really good tools to average. You're not precise down to the smallest percentage, but you have a fairly idea of what you're looking for in statistics. And the other link I sent, the first one,
Yes.
that's for like only 1 card. So population size is the number of set card you have in the deck. So let's say you wanna Diablo, you have maybe 60 cards. Number of success in population, you have maybe 8 Diablo ones. You want the probability of having Diablo 1. Sample size, how many cards you will draw?
So
7.
Okay.
And number of success in sample size, let's say 1.
What is this exactly?
1. It's the number of set cards you want, the successful card you want in your sample size. So if the sample size is 7, it's your hand, and you want at least 1 of the cards you're looking for.
Okay.
And maybe if you want 2, you can put 2. So that can be interesting maybe when you're looking to for aggro decks, when you want a daisy turn 1, daisy turn 2, then you can put 2 and you can have the chances of having double daisy.
Wow.
So to read that, you just need to read the chances of having at least 1. So it's the last line. So it's x being greater or equal to 1. That one. It's 65% chance of having a Diablo 1 turn 1.
That's pretty high.
Okay.
It's pretty high.
And that can be used maybe when you try to figure out what mulligans do you want to do. So you can change the population size to 53. So what's left in the deck? That one, 53.
Yep.
And then you can decide regarding your hand. Okay, now I have no Diablo ones, so I have 8 left in the deck. And then you can change the sample size to 5 if you want to mulligan 5, and you can see the probabilities of drawing in that said mulligan. And maybe you want to go a little bit higher, you want to mulligan 1 more, so you change the 5 to 6. And then you can compare that way. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it throwing back the other card I wanted to keep in hand? And what's the difference in percentage I will gain?
Wow.
So that's kind of tools I daily use to figure out mulligan strategies. I think mulligan in Lorcana is one of the most important aspects. also Mulligan link properly in a known matchup. It's very important. And how you ink. Because mulliganing and inking, I think they are on the same page. You're deciding on which card to give up and which card to keep as an option. So I want to be as precise as I can on those cards.
Yeah, like for example, let's see that now I just copy your
Indeed.
your deck just for going like and I add 2
And simulate
improvise and 1
mulligans,
Diago just so we can say like a simulate mulligan.
Yeah.
Like okay, cut. Now you like this. You probably also, if you have 1 action, you probably mulligan 7, right? Yeah, of
6
course.
actually, yeah.
Keeping
Yeah.
the Diablo, you keep the Diablo in 1 action in this case, right?
Yeah. That I mean that's why the numbers are important, is because you need the action to shift. But
Yep.
are you more likely to draw? Are you more likely to draw Diablo 1 by mulliganing 5, or are you more likely to draw Diablo 1 plus an action by mulliganing 6? Because for the action you have a little bit of time. You can draw it later. You don't have to have it turn 1. You can have it turn 2. And when you're playing too low of action count, so when you're 16 or something like that, you need to keep those actions. But when you're on 18, 19, yeah, starting from 18, you can actually throw away the actions and you gain a little bit of a percentage.
Okay. So what would you mulligan in this case? What would you keep and what would you give away?
Keep Diablo, Mulligan, everything else.
Also, you mulligan hypnotize and friends.
Everything else. Yeah, everything. Because I'm looking for shift line, and that's the way to maximize shift line.
Okay. Let's go ski.
Shift line with Diablo 2, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
We have action, Diablo 2, and improvise. It's not the best, but yeah, sometimes it happens like that.
Okay. Let's try again. This is probably here, a little bit better.
This is good, but I still mulligan everything with Diablo.
Yeah, so...
But I'm guaranteed Diablo 0 on turn 1. And now, you see, even this hand is not bad. I don't have Diablo, but I have a way to play the game when I can go Diablo 0 turn 1. Then I can play either Ursula or Diablo, depending on what they ink and what they show me as colors. I can go Crab into Diablo. I really have a game plan for the first 3 turns that is relevant and doesn't rely only on shifting Diablo.
Okay, yeah. So the main tips is don't panic if you don't see the shift line Diablo and don't rely only on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you mulligan for it, but if you don't have it, you have to play the game without, and there's no problem with that. Yeah, same here. Everything with Diablo. But if you are, for example, in other matchups, if I know I'm playing against maybe a Steel Song or something like that, a Sting Song aggro, maybe especially I think purple Steel, since it's very aggro, I will keep the Crab. I will keep the Crab. I wanna go Diablo 0 into Crab, and that's my best way to challenge their board. So here I will keep the Crab, for example. And I'm looking for Diablo 2s to have a stronger turn 2 drop. This is fair enough. Yeah.
Do you think this is good yet?
I mean it's fair enough. It lacks a 2 drop, a stronger 2 drop, but it's I think it's not that bad actually. Also, when in those situations when you face either playing the green Diablo or the purple Diablo, often in the blind you rather prefer playing the purple Diablo because it gives you more options. With Crab it's better. Green Diablo, it's only good when you're sure that you're gonna shift or you're looking to shift and you wanna check their hands to see if the way is open or if you have to respect some actions. But if you're not looking to shift, then the purple Diablo it's a better setup for board state.
I want to ask you a thing. In a blind game, would you
Yeah.
mind not giving away the informations of your second color and maybe decide to ink a purple card and play the purple Diablo, knowing that you don't want to let the opponent know that you are GP?
Actually not. I don't. I value more keeping in hand the best options than
Mhm.
giving knowledge to my opponent. I think the knowledge is extremely relevant for the Mulligan, but once the Mulligan is done, they won't do much with the knowledge in that single turn.
Okay.
Because yeah, starting from turn 2 they will figure out the deck, so it will only impact what they will ink next turn. So I think it's too small of an advantage to throw away options. Yeah, I always also prefer to keep one card of each. So if I have multiple copies of asset card, I rather ink that and have like one crab in hand, one fox in hand, one Elsa, one Bruno, than inking, then yeah, denying me the option to a certain card. So if I have two Elsa, one Bruno, I will think ink a Elsa. If I have one Elsa, two Bruno, I will probably keep ink a Bruno.
Okay.
Because they are doing kind of the same thing. There are 5 drops removals, or almost taking down almost everything, and I prefer to keep as many options as I can to always interact against my opponent. I don't want to be forced in a game when I don't choose what I play and I'm just spectating.
Yes.
Okay.
Some decks are like that. When you're too heavy on non-inkables, it's almost as you're playing TFT. You build the deck and you let it play and you watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, it's clear that I can't use this deck. 3 Diablo in opening hands, Mulligan in 6. It's really hard.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. That's hard.
Now this is a good end.
Yeah, this is a good end. Actually, this is the harder end, because like, since you have everything, you have to be really careful what you keep, because now you have options.
What would you keep here? Probably one Diablo. One Diablo.
I think I'm not keeping 2 Diablos. I'm not keeping Prince John either. 2 Diablos. I don't think there's need for 2 Diablos. And the Yago, it's kind of too late. So I like just having a shift line plus a turn 2, and I'm looking for. The problem is that yes, we have turn 4 in hand, turn 3 is in hand. I mean, we have Diablo and Prince John, but there are non-inkables, and we're not sure we wanna do that. Maybe you wanna go something else. You might want to go Crab, boosting Diablo to deal with a Daisy, something like that. Crab also sometimes is good to play turn 3, even though you don't boost to trade anything, just for the body, because it will. You can go Crab turn 3, then you can go Genie, then turn 5 if you go Fox. The Crab leaving the board will boost the Genie. You can trade with Genie Fox, so you're not in a haste of using the ability of Crab when you play it. You can just leave it there. It will sync friends, be bounced by Fox, and do the job. So yeah, I'm happier with that hand. We can shift. We can shift and sing friends. That's the big deal. I think here I will probably ink Diablo. Yeah, I will certainly ink Diablo 2 to play Diablo 1, and then I will shift sing and probably draw in inkables for sure.
Did you draw the exact same cards in Mulligan
Yes,
away?
we did. We did.
Okay.
I mean, we did, but we traded the Yago for friends, which is really good actually.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did like a +2 value on one card, which is great. which is great.
Also, something I want to talk quickly about is
Yeah.
often we try to keep Ursula in opening hand because steel decks were 50% of the metagame. There's a complete part when I talk about that in the guide when I break down the metagame and the reason why you want to keep Ursula often in hand. When half of the metagame is playing songs, then Ursula becomes one chance out of two to be relevant. So it also protects Diablo, so you want to keep it. Now that line might be changed depending on the upcoming meta. If there are less songs, then Ursula might be mulliganed away in the opening hand. But for now, we try to keep Ursula in hand in the blind.
Do you keep it
because we're
always? Do you keep it also if you are on the draw, or you
both?
both?
Both because they will never kill Diablo 1. They will wait for the shift.
Ok.
So we also keep the Ursula, yeah. Ragazzi
Yeah,
a casa,
depends of the
ricordatelo.
upcoming meta. If you see that the next meta is gonna be if there are, I think, more than 50% of the decks that are playing steel with songs, then you can keep Ursula in opening hand.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. And so Krikri is one of the key piece of the deck because it helps you deal with a lot of aggro, with locations. It's very, very, very strong. Do you think
I do
that...
have another question. The
Why?
thing is, I am not seeing Eden Cove.
Yes.
Is there a particular reason?
Yes. So the original creator of the deck, so Wahoo, he won the. So just to put a bit of context, he is playing Diablo for since set 4 or 5, I don't know, before the Bucky ban. So he made Bokum top 16 with it. Then he won with a green steel discard.
Yeah.
Then he won the Lorca quest with green steel discard. So he's very solid on those in this discard shell. And his opinion on Cove is that the card it's only good in some clutch spots. So maybe turn 2 to avoid brawl. In very in very tiny windows where you can use Cove efficiently, but it's it doesn't do much in other situations. It doesn't give you lore. It's fairly weak and hard to easy to deal with. I mean, 6 is just 2 times 3, so you can send Kaloon plus a pit in it. Cove doesn't do much. Maybe Cove will begin to be interesting as this deck rises in popularity. It can be interesting in mirrors because Diablo is a little bit stronger. It cannot be single-handedly taken down by Genie or Elsa, since if it's in the Cove. But the problem is like you can also play Creaky, kill the Cove quickly, and send Jenny in Diablo Steel. So the Cove doesn't do much. I don't really like the Cove either. You can argue that the Cove is inkable, so it's never a bad card, I said. The problem is, as I said, I want to play Lorcana with the most options in hand, and having a card that does nothing 90% of the time just denies you an option. You don't have an actual card you can do something with. You just have a proxy inked card that doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want often cards that do something. If you pay close attention to the deck, there are 10 non-inkables in the middle of the deck actually, with Diablo, John, and Jenny. All 10 of them draws. You never have a inkable that doesn't do anything. At least it draws you cards back, so you're not never in an awful spot. Every card very often does something. Hasset My Heart was there only because of red blue being 1/4 of the matchups, so he did big work 1/4 of the time, so that's why. But I don't want a card that it's only clutch in 5 or 10% situations. 90% of them I will ink it.
Yeah, that's very, very important, and I think that there are a lot of insights about it. Of course, people can learn more in your masterclass on
Yeah.
METAFY, and there is the discount code here on the live, and there is also in the description box below. But before going and closing the live, I have a more general question about not about the deck, but about how a competitive team and players prepare for tournaments. What are your like, how do you organize your preparation? What are the key steps? And what do you do for preparing yourself at the best for a tournament?
Um, it depends on the teams, of course. I know that other teams in general, they have one day of the week that they are trying to go local, or they're trying to set one day of the week that they will be training as a team. I think the problem with the downside, at least of that method, is that you're playing in a sealed vacuum and a closed metagame, when you will develop decks and variants that are good within the playtest group, and then when you come to tournaments you face regular metagames, and sometimes you're not prepared to those. So we are more into discussing decks, brainstorming together, and going out in the wild, so maybe Lorcanito, events, locals. Everyone tests against not teammates, but anyone outside the team, trying to figure out, does that work in a real environment, and in a situation, in a competitive situation. And then we come back and we discuss plays. Sometimes it's on stream, so we watch replays, try to figure out lines. There's I think a big benefits about thinking, brainstorming and thinking with multiple players on a single hand. So often, instead of training 1 versus 1 and each one does its own thing, we try to someone to go Lorcanito stream, and then we watch his hand as 3 or 4 players, and we discuss the same point of view, but with different opinions.
Okay. And
So yeah, often we cover every option, because some of us are coming with certain aspects of the game, certain habits, and it opens your mind to lines that you didn't see, you will not see if you play only by yourself.
do you record all the results and make some maths on it, or?
Indeed, we record as much result as possible on tournaments and on playtests, and we trying to do math with it, of course. Mainly, it's important at the start of a metagame. So this metagame, for example, or at the launch of a set, because there's not no data available on index, because there are no tournaments played yet. So we try to forecast that and figure out what will the meta look like. Sometimes it's biased because we are playing on a lot of on Lorcanito, so the win rates are at a bit higher. But we just try to compare the win rates between each other.
Great, absolutely great. Ragazzi in chat, prima di concludere, avete domande da fare a Dinu che possiamo approfondire? Is something more, Dinu, that you want to cover about the deck?
No, not especially.
Good.
I would just say that yeah, I will update the deck by tomorrow with the ban of Iron Man pop. I mean the Iron Man Fortisphere. The deck will be updated for new versions, so people can play this weekend. They have a couple of days 2 days to figure out if they like it. I also recommend people reading the free guide we did after the Europeans to get an idea of what the guide it looks like, how in depth we are going. If you like the form, then you will like the actual discard guide because it's even more content. There are POVs of each matchup that you can watch. So if you like the free one, you will certainly like the actual discard guide.
Yeah, that's really good. Aspettiamo ancora qualche. Let's wait. So, if there are any other question in the chat. Otherwise, I think that we cover everything about the deck, about the current meta situation. And so, we guys, as we said, here's the guide. You can find all the information in the deck box, in the description box below. And so, I would say that there are not any other question. It's pretty late because tomorrow, people, let's go to work.
Indeed.
So, Dinu, thank you very much for being with us. It's been a great pleasure. I'm sure that a lot of people actually were in live, but I'm sure that a lot of other people will see this live and the other content that we will post during the weeks on YouTube. Oh yeah. Okay, we got a question on the finishing line. What do you think about the possible addition of Kid Cloud Kicker in the deck, considering that we are going into Diablo discard meta?
Yeah, actually, Kid Cloud Kicker is more a tempo setup. Kid Cloud Kicker it's actually in the free guide about green purple aggro, and I'm explaining that it just gives you a little bit of space, so you wanna go turn one Merfolk, turn 2 Banzai, or turn 2 double Merfolk if you go that crazy. And then if they put anything that challenges the board a little bit, you wanna go Kit, just to give you a little bit of space and swing with everything. Then Kit will be able to sing Friends, so it does something. But you're just trying to out-tempo your opponent with Kit and take the lead, questing aggressively. In this deck, you're more trying to take control of the board, of everything. So Kit doesn't help that much. It just delays problems. If you bounce Diablo, they're just gonna replay it. I'm not fan of that answer. I think Diablo turn 2s are really good of taking care of Diablo. If they swing with Diablo, you just take the trade. So you have an early answer to other Diablos, and I don't think Kit is needed. In my opinion, Kit is an aggro card that gives you tempo.
Okay, yeah, more aggro than discard maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Dinu, once again, thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure that you will come again on this channel, maybe at the end or at some other point during this meta to talk about it, to talk about how the meta is going and if in the end GP Discard, and we really hope will be a tier 0 deck. Ragazzi, grazie mille per essere stati con noi, è stato un piacere. Vi auguriamo una buona notte. Mi raccomando, domani alle 7, come sempre, nella vostra casella di posta troverete un nuovo episodio di The Tales Whispers. Venerdì nuovo video sul canale, e poi martedì, e poi giovedì, e poi venerdì. Vabbè, lo sapete, ormai conoscete la nostra programmazione. Mercoledì prossimo saremo comunque live. Cercheremo magari di portarvi un nuovo ospite. Ricordate che domani e dopodomani ci saranno gli altri 2 match della prima fase dell'All Star Game. Sarà molto interessante perché saranno di fatto i primi match streaming, almeno nostri in Italia, senza Iram, qualora qualcuno dei giocatori coinvolti lo dovesse giocare. Quindi mi raccomando, domani 21:30 canale Twitch di Lorcanita per il torneo All Stars, dove tutte le donazioni, ormai lo sapete, vengono date in beneficenza. Quindi non mancate. Io, come al solito, vi saluto. Io sono Arnaldo,
Lorenzo,
Giorgio e Dinu. Today also
Grazie
Dinu,
mille,
and
grazie mille.
this is
Ciao.
Tales of Lorcana. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao ragazzi.
Ciao.